It's a berry. No, it's a peanut butter. No, it's a Welch's. What?
Do you think Kyle's stoked with your beer choice?
No. Why don't you think Kyle's stoked about this beer?
Probably because it's not his idea and he's worried it's going to do really well in the algorithm.
I think it's going to be gross. I think no one's going to click on the video and it's going to be horrible for the algorithm. I think I might have been quick to judge, Libby.
So Kyle was leaving for his 5th vacation of the summer and told us to pick a beer for us all to brew when he gets back. I've been working here for almost a year and haven't brewed yet, so we figured this was a great time for me to pick. Okay, so to be fair, I wanted to brew a hazy IPA since those are my favorite, but we've brewed so many of those recently, and we figured it was time to brew something a little different for the office and channel. I chose a Weiss beer recipe that we slightly altered that mimics the beer that got me into beer in the first place. However, in true Clawhammer fashion, we veered off course a bit.
We add some peanut butter to it, do a complete left turn, and we've just done peanut butter and jelly.
We were supposed to keep this brew super simple. Did we do that?
Libby, we took some wrong turns.
Do a complete left turn.
Ready to roll?
Oh.
If you're new to brewing, the whole process can seem a bit intimidating. Luckily, there are many resources online that make finding and constructing a beer recipe really simple. We knew we wanted to brew something similar to the beer I chose, so we plugged it into Brewfather, which gave us the exact information we needed to brew this beer. So Emmett and I headed to our local brew shop to pick up some ingredients. Our grain bill consisted of 6 pounds wheat malt, 5 pounds Pilsner malt, and 4 ounces of Victory malt. It only called for 1 hop addition of 0.5 ounces of cluster hops. Lastly, we picked up a 3-pound bag of blueberry puree. This will make dosing simple and sanitary for when we add it to the keg later on. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. The original recipe called for blackberries, elderberries, and loganberries. We were not about to go searching for all that because, you know, we didn't want to complicate things.
And I think Kyle's right in saying we add some peanut butter oil or PB2.
Instead, we decided to use a typical bag of frozen mixed berries. All right, let's get into the brew day. Pardon any crappy footage you're about to see. Kyle was filming. We started off by adjusting our water chemistry. Then it was time to mill and mash the grains. I'm excited to do this.
Oh, Libby. Actually, you're making some progress.
Guys, I've been hitting the gym. We're gonna practice what we preach and double crush our grains. Yeah. We don't want any doughs.
Now you're gonna get them because I was too impatient. But if we would have poured slower, we wouldn't have had that issue, but.
Dough ball?
Fucked it up, Emmett.
I just wanted, this is a learning experience.
As long as Emmett fucked up, that's all that matters. It wasn't me.
It's called a teaching aid.
Here's your problem, Libby. It's the lower hand grip. I think you
Yeah.
can modify the lower hand.
No, the opposite of that.
There you go. No.
What?
Oh, there you go. Give yourself some leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Have you hooked the hoses up before or the pump or any of that?
In every video, someone's messing something up with the hoses.
Yeah. I did not do it right.
Hooked it up wrong, Emmett.
Cross-merging.
Oh my God. Fired. Libby, when somebody messes up the hoses, who is it? Is it one of us or do we all do it?
Emmett, I love you.
Yeah,
I feel like it's Emmett.
Let's see. Oh, there it is.
What are you
Classic.
doing?
And then give it a tug.
Okay.
And then you'll do pour it out. There you go. Perfect.
Seems okay. That's how you do them right.
So you guys hooked the hoses up. How do you feel about it?
I feel like Libby did a great job. Do you think you know how to brew from just editing alone?
I think I know what not to do.
You have it in the wrong hole.
I do?
Yep.
Wait, she has it in the wrong. You were supervising.
Yeah, I just told her where to put it. I didn't watch her do it. And then give it a tug.
Okay.
I love, that's not my fault. How's it my fault? And then you'll do pour it out.
You were teaching her to do this.
I didn't watch her, that was the problem. And then this just goes back into the kettle.
All right.
Kettle out, pump in, pump out to lid.
To lid, okay, I'll let Emma do that.
Nice. And then you see a nice healthy flow.
We're not using any dark malts to buffer the pH, so we did a reading to see where we landed after adding in 4 milliliters of lactic acid to the mash. Next, we checked our pre-boil gravity. Okay.
And if you give it a little twist and pull, you break the surface. It's not that heavy. You got that, no problem. We're good.
You're good?
Yep.
Damn! Guys, I've been hitting the gym.
Where are we dumping the grains these days? Not
Yeah,
that we have a fence that barricades us from our old compost pile.
Right across the street. Libby, I can't believe you just.
Right in the street?
It is on the concrete a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're up to a nice boil there.
Yep.
And this is an easy beer. It just has one hop addition. It's half an ounce. So you just need to either eyeball half of that, or if you want to get crazy, you can weigh it out on a scale.
Do you like working with us?
With? I would more so say 4. With implies that you guys actually get work done.
15-minute timer went off,
Yep.
just 10 minutes left. And what we're gonna do is just run the wort through the plate chiller.
Okay.
And that way the boiling wort will go through the plate chiller. This is more like to sanitize it. So we're just gonna let this sit and recirculate for a few minutes.
Okay.
Boil's done. A hint of honey.
For fruit, we added in a 2-pound bag of frozen mixed berries and let it steep for a few minutes. We figured it was a good idea to mash the berries in a mesh bag to get as much of the juices out of the fruit as possible without clogging the system. After cooling the wort, we transferred it over to a fresh keg. We had some leftover White Labs Mythical Hammer yeast to pitch. And depending on when you're watching this, you can head over to whitelabs.com and order some for yourself. After about 2 weeks of fermentation, we wanted to do a quick taste test to see how much blueberry puree and honey we wanted to back sweeten with. At this point, the beer was warm and non-carbonated, but we tried many different dosings and combinations. After lots of tasting, we figured it was probably best to add in the entire 3-pound bag of puree for mouthfeel and added fruit flavor, and roughly 15 ounces of honey for sweetness. We knew we were keeping this keg cold, so we weren't too worried about more fermentation happening. We decided to cold crash the beer and let the yeast settle over the next few days before back sweetening because we didn't want to add in all of those extra ingredients on top of the yeast. A few days later, we sanitized our new keg in preparation for a close transfer. We put the 3-pound bag of blueberry puree into the fresh new keg plus the 15 ounces of honey.
So Libby, why'd we go with blueberry?
It was 20 bucks cheaper than the raspberry and blackberry.
Let's hook this up to out.
Okay.
And then this is just gonna purge all the star sand out. And then we'll hook that up to the out. And then gas to the in. And then open up the gas. And we're at 4 PSI here. And then pull up on your little thingamajigger. We should see beer flowing.
Once the chilled liquid lines on each keg match up, you know it's complete.
Oh, we used the fancy one. That's perfect.
That's perfect. So yeah, we use the fancy.
And it stopped like on its own.
You selling these or what?
We will be now.
Okay, you're gonna let me do the quick carbing?
You want to work on your muscles from Brussels.
I assume I just get low and let her go. Oh my God, 3 minutes of shaking this. Is this like a hazing joke or is it actually 3 minutes? Might skip the gym.
You gotta be careful on the angle and stuff like this when you film it.
The pressure's not at 40 anymore, is that?
What's it at? Is it out of gas?
Out of gas. Which means
You have to do
I
it
gotta
again.
shake some more. All right, boys, bring it back. It was not carbing the whole time.
that was the hazing.
That was the haze.
Well, at least the honey will be mixed up. That's the real thing.
Here's where things start to take a wrong turn. We did a small taste test too soon after quick carbing and back sweetening. Everything definitely needed some more time to settle before making any big decisions.
A little jammy, pretty muted, no hops, not much maltiness to come through. This would murder in like bars that are doing like the peanut butter and jelly.
I do like the smell, even though it's a weird smell. I personally like it, but I don't dislike the beer because I've just been drinking it while you guys are doing your tasting, and I like it.
It's kind of mystical. Dude, that's what the smell reminds me of, the peanut butter and jelly seltzer.
We add some peanut butter to it, do a complete left turn, and we've just done the peanut butter and jelly.
You heard it right. The beer we swore to keep simple and quick just got more complicated and ended up adding way too much time. We bought 8 jars of PB2. We bought another 3-pound bag of blueberry puree. We tried many combos of PB2, honey, the beer, and puree. We bought freaking Welch's grape juice and some other old lady smelling grape juice to try and add more of that sweet fruit taste. And for the cherry on top, we tried adding PB2 powder to the peanut oil, which in the end gave us peanut butter.
Wait, how much did this beer cost?
But at the end of the day, if we wanted to achieve something like the PB&J mixtape, we would have had to have done that from the jump. And honestly, every time we went back to taste the original beer, it got better and better, and we didn't want to ruin the whole keg. Then I had the bright idea to add in another 3-pound bag of blueberry puree because I wanted a bit more fruit, and well, let's see how it turned out. Quick PSA before the tasting. We definitely needed to let the beer settle a little bit longer after adding in the second bag of blueberry puree. Overall, the beer just wasn't done settling and wasn't ready to taste. I'm still gonna leave it in, but stick around to the end for the final verdict. Hey, we did it. Cheers.
So this is what we were shooting for.
This is what we were basing it off of and altering a smidge. I hadn't had it in a couple years.
I've never had it. It's very sweet.
I just get like berry candy.
You can get the wheat on the end. There's a little bit of wheat. If someone would say, oh, it's just some fruit juice, I'd be like, that sounds right.
It makes sense that this was my gateway
Yeah.
because it's like a pop or a soda. I think we are way less sweet with what we've brewed.
It's a different fruit smell, but it definitely has a fruit smell.
That one was very candy Jolly Rancher. This isn't as sweet on the nose, but it's still fruit.
Yeah, it's a little more musty fruit maybe. All right.
Significantly less sweet.
Yeah, I preferred it with the 1 bag over the 2 bags. It's not a bad experience. It still tastes like beer. It just tastes like literally like a light lager. I don't mind this. It's not my favorite beer I ever had, but it's super clean. It's not a style most people are gonna choose. It's probably not your favorite style anymore.
Don't think it's a style I'd ever choose again.
Right.
But it was fun. Here's what Kyle had to say before the beer was settled.
Yeah, there's like a lager smell in there though. There is like a lager beer smell in there. The thing is, I feel like I contributed to the downfall of this beer. What's that TV show? The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret or something like that. I kept being like, well, I don't know. What if you guys did this? What if you did this? What if you did this? And all those suggestions, I think, only made it worse. We wasted a ton of time on peanut butter. That didn't work out. Yeah, you kept adding more fruit. That didn't work out. I don't know, if I'm being honest, it's not great. It's been a couple days. This is settled. I'm gonna give it one last chance because it smells a lot better. That is way different. I think I might have been quick to judge, Libby. At the end of the day, I am gonna say actually that I do like this. It's a good beer. I think I might have been wrong on this one, Libby. I'm gonna give it my seal of approval.